Here and welcome to Nuremberg. Some of you had been together last night already at the pub. We are not quite complete here yet. There are still some empty slots. It's amazing. This year we really have 55 or 56 registered participants now. And this is about the amount of table space that I was able to set up here in this room. So we are really reaching the limit. I had never expected that we will have that many participants here. So I'll just go through over a few little things. So this, one thing that I should say right in the beginning, you've seen Jürgen Weigert here. It's this tall guy behind the camera. He's our spy. He's actually recording. So I should say this for privacy reasons, so that you know that this is actually recorded. I'm not sure if we will still be able to set up a live stream, but it will. The videos will be made available on the online, so you can watch things there. So, okay.
I take yours. You take this. So hello, good morning, welcome at SUSE. I hope you enjoy being here despite that we have a camera on there. So this is two things that I have to announce. One I have and one I want to announce. The first thing is, as Egbert has mentioned, the recordings are being made public. So please speak up if you absolutely are not okay with publishing the video here. So it's not only the speaker who will be on video, but also the audience. If somebody asks a question, the camera will turn around and we will see the audience in the public. I hope you're okay with that, as we are an open source development community here anyway. I guess that's fine with you? Okay, and the other thing, if you are fine with that, I need your help, because myself, I have to be upstairs again to my regular day-to-day duties. I'm here only as a tutor and a trainer. And currently my trainees are Matthias Hopf and Michael Larrabell, sitting at the recording desk and next to the camera. But I guess they will not do it all day, all the 3 days. So we need to have a list of volunteers. Please go over there, have a peek at the camera and see how the software works if you're interested in that. And if you stand behind them, they will surely speak to you and ask you if you want to help at some point of time. It's quite easy. If anybody has worked with the DV switch software, developed by Debian, that's the thing that we use here. It's absolutely simple. You press 1, 2, 3, or 4 for the cameras or for the slides, and the rest is a piece of cake. Okay, thank you very much. Enjoy the show.
Okay, thank you, Jürgen. Let me say a few things about the venue. Probably already noticed this is the building of SUSE Linux. It's actually the headquarters in here in Nuremberg, and SUSE is actually sponsoring this event regarding the venue and everything else. So there are some things to know about this room. You've probably already seen there are still some offices back there, so this implies some things regarding security. So we cannot keep the door open at all times. Somebody needs to guard it so that not people that are not authorized can get in here. One thing that I would like to ask you is that you wear your badge here in this building at all times, because it identifies you as a participant of this conference and that you're allowed to get in here. The door will be open before the conference starts. We will be here starting from 8:30. So door will be open before 9 o'clock and after you return, or when you return from lunch. But if you have to get in at any other time, Either come by here and knock at the window so somebody can open the door for you, or just call my mobile number or Stefan's mobile number. This is also in the brochure that's still in print. You will. We just had 7 ready. Currently, our trainee is trying to print the other ones. We had some printer issues this morning, but who hasn't? Okay, get this out of the way. So, oh. This is, yeah, this is something else. You've already seen the little problem this room has. You plug in your laptop using this VGA cable, and it goes to this box. And you need to be very careful to not touch this box, because the cable that runs all the way up to the projector, there's no plug in between, has a bad plug. So. But it's not possible, or not easily possible, to exchange it. So we have to live with this. So be careful when you plug in your laptop to not touch this box and move it around too much. Okay, I already mentioned the venue and the coffee breaks are sponsored by SUSE. And also Michael Arable from Veronix is sponsoring some beer, which you can find in the refrigerator in the back. I would like to ask you to not get too drunk during the sessions here, because it would be kind of impolite to the speaker. People get too carried away here. Oops. Okay, the SSID, it's already on the whiteboard there, is conf, and the passcode, you use this one. You shouldn't use the Novell GuestNet, which we will also see probably, because unless you can settle, you can get by with just HTTP and HTTPS, because this is totally open and all other ports are blocked there. If you use this network, all ports should be open, so you should have full internet access. Okay, so lunch. We don't have any lunch here, but there are many restaurants in the area. You will find a list and a map in your brochure once it's printed. So please have a look there. So we selected a few that are very close by, inexpensive, and which provide, at least in our opinion, good and speedy service. There are other ones which we haven't picked due to various issues, but there should be enough room and for everyone here. Just some of the locations are a bit small, so not everybody in here will fit in the same place. Okay, evening event. Tomorrow we would like to go. This is not a sponsored event. It's just that we go or plan to go to the Altstadtfest. It's some local event here, which is also nice for people visiting the town. So you're all invited to come along, and then you can go and there are facilities where you can eat and so. But we will meet here in front of the building at 7 o'clock to walk down there. So everybody's. If people need to go back to their hotel to drop off stuff or so, they can still do it and come back here, and then we will walk all together. Yeah, weekend events. You probably have all heard of the beer hike that we're planning. This is also to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the X11, which was actually last Saturday, I believe. So it's a week late, but this was the closest we could get. So if you want to join us there, be sure to register before Thursday, 5 o'clock. Put your name down on the wiki page, please. Because we need to make some reservations and we need to know how many people are going. We will go even if it's raining. So it doesn't take away much of the fun. It should be okay even if it's raining, but you should have some rain jacket or something. And it's also recommended that you have good walking or hiking shoes because it's not all paved there. So we will meet on Saturday at 10 minutes past 9 at the Nordostbahnhof. You can, if you can't find it on the internet, just ask us about directions. It's pretty easy to get there. If you're coming from here, you just take line 3 to Rathenauplatz, and there you switch to line 2 to the airport, and then it's on this route. On Sunday, we will do a visit to the documentation center at the party rally grounds of the Nazis to have some look into recent, or well, not so recent anymore, history that was not really something to be proud of, but you can have a look there and see see an exhibition in the documentation center, which tries to explain some things around this. For this, we will meet at 10 minutes past 10 at the stop of tram line 9 at the main railroad station. You don't have to register there. Who's there at that time will just go along, and who isn't, well, he can come independently. It's not that hard to find. We'll just take tram 9 out there, and then we'll be there. It's the final stop on this line. Okay, I think this is pretty much it. I'm not sure if I forgot anything else. Okay, for the speakers, if you connect your laptop here, even if the beamer should offer you more than 10 by 8, try and set your resolution to 10 by 8, because otherwise we will also record the slides separately, and this is not going to work if the resolution is higher. Okay, thank you very much. I will just go over and yeah, we'll start with the first session. This is a board presentation. I'm not sure, Alan, would you like to start this? So if all the people from the board who are here step up, please. And I think Alan is going to tell something. And also, Stuart is going to give a treasury report, I believe. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, yeah,
you can use the other one.
Whatever. I mean, this is fine. This is fine. Is it already done? All right. We're in good shape. Yay. It's not like you couldn't hear me in the back anyway. So I guess before we get started, we'll do this a lot, but I wanted to do it now. Let's give a hand to everybody, Sousa and Michael and everybody who's contributed to make this thing possible. I'm Bart Massey. For those of you who don't know me, I'm currently the secretary of the X.org Foundation Board of Directors. We are the organization that is charged with supporting the development of the X Windows system. There's a sharp distinction there. We are not the organization that tells you what to do. We're the organization that tries to help you do what it is you are going to be doing anyway. So this is an important thing to understand. All the work that I and the rest of the board here have done over the past years has been with one purpose in mind. It's to make X better, to make it more useful to the community, and to do that not by setting technical direction, but by providing funding, providing logistical support, providing community interface to everybody who is doing the real work. I should introduce everyone, Matthias Hoff, Alan Coopersmith, Keith Packard, Stuart Kreitman, who's currently our treasurer, Ann Holt, and Matt Dew. Sorry. I mean, I know everybody knows everybody here, but just in case, it's worth sort of saying hi. I think that I have a few notes prepared. I'm not even going to bother to try to get them on the screen because I think there's not that much to say, but I'll try to keep it to just a minute or two. But there's some things to say. And please, the rest of the board, jump in, chime in at any point. And I promise I won't try to steal thunder from those of you who have things to say after me. But so every year I'm charged with giving a status report as secretary to of the state of the board, the state of the X Windows system. And I guess the report this year looks like what I'm going to say is good. It all looks good. But in particular, I think some years have been a lot of hard work and we don't have maybe quite as much to show for it. It seems like this year a lot has happened with the foundation that's very, very positive. It's one of those years where a lot of the things we've been working on for a long time has paid off. Organizationally, I think the board is functioning very well. The meetings are regular. Almost everyone attends almost every meeting. The meetings are being public now in a way they weren't before. We're getting some outside participation. So that kind of functioning is working great. We are now, for the first time, a US 501c3 educational nonprofit foundation. That's the culmination of probably 5 years of hard work in setting this up and moving to this organizational structure. It's a nice structure in that it lets people help us by taking advantage of our tax-exempt status, and it makes clear what our legal situation is in some ways that we didn't have before. Big thanks to the Software Freedom Law Center, who put in countless hours guiding us through this process. This is a process that no one expected to actually work. So we're really impressed that at the end we actually got this status. Yeah.
Yeah, we should also thank Alex for doing most of the work the last few months. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think he's here because he didn't get travel funded, but I didn't have time from his employer. Yeah. But nevertheless, thanks to Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex put in a giant pile of work. Carl Worth put in a pile of work a while back. There's a bunch of people over a long time who've put in work to make this happen, so it's terrific that we can announce that it's done. Our financial situation is more organized than it's been in a while. We actually are getting a handle on our books. We're starting to get payments made on a regular basis, that sort of thing. I think there's been a noticeable change in the last year in that, so I'm really happy with that as well. On the I appreciate that spin on it. Yeah. No problem. on the we're charged as a board with doing two kinds of things, really. We're charged with providing support to you, to the people who, you too, I mean, it's all the same people, to the people who develop X, and to help the community. And on the developer support side, we've continued to work on our infrastructure. We've had this initiative, this Endless Vacation of Code initiative that we've been running several years, and I'll let Matt talk more about this, but, or somebody's going to talk more about this, is it? Matt. Yeah. But, the short version is that this is the most successful EVOC year we've had since we started the program many years ago. We're starting to get a significant number of people through. We also have had some book sprints. We started to build some documentation. That's a twofold purpose, really. It's partly to help support the people who are getting started as developers. It's also partly to attract developers. And again, Matt will talk some about what we've done there. Yeah, or somebody will. Oh, is somebody going to talk about the book sprints, or should I? Oh, I'm happy to. I'm absolutely happy to talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm happy to talk about them, but yeah, let's push that off a little bit. Just give me about a few more seconds here. Community-wise, we've done a lot of travel sponsorship. We continue to do that. I think we've gotten people not just to this conference, but we're starting to talk about and work on getting them to other places where they need to be to actually promote X and attract people. We also have had just joined, and this is a brand new thing, the Open Innovation Network, which is a collaboration of organizations that are patent pooling and working on pooling IP for the purposes of defending against patents. We don't have much to offer the patent pool in the X.org, but we do have a lot of prior art to offer, and so we're really excited to be collaborating with them. One of the things that I was asked to encourage you to do is to, I was actually asked to show you a short video, but I'm not going to do that. But I was asked to encourage you to visit the OIN website and look at what they have. In particular, a lot of stuff that you folks are doing right now is innovative, and it is potentially patentable or bears on potential patents. If you're excited about having that not happen and instead keep this stuff available to everybody, then the OIN website has good resources about what you can do, about doing prior publication, about getting legal advice about what kinds of what your stuff is worth and how to organize it so that we can make sure that it's available to everybody in the future. So I'm excited about that as well. There are still some challenges. Sorry, let me, just a second. There we go. There are still some challenges, and I'll just race through them briefly because we don't want to dwell on those. We have been very fortunate over the past 5 or 6 years to have a very large budget. That budget is getting down to the point where we're going to have to start doing some serious fundraising over the next couple of years and actually start balancing out now that we have reduced our war chest, so that we have revenues that match our expenditures. We have obviously had some issues with infrastructure recently in terms of reliability and availability. We're working on those. We have a plan for that, but it's something we're going to have to deal with. We've had an ongoing sort of low-level discussion over the last year about various, ironically, intellectual property issues, in particular, the X.org logo and this kind of stuff, and we're going to have to figure out what we want to do about all that, what kinds of steps we want to take there. Our banking and payment stuff still needs work, and we're still working on figuring that out. Stuart can talk more about that if he wishes. It's time for us to revise the X.org Foundation bylaws. That's a task that's on our plate for the next year. There's a lot in it that's sort of out of date or doesn't turn out to work very well for us. And so one of the things you can expect to see from the Foundation Board over the next year is a series of proposed amendments to the bylaws to sort of correct it. That's especially important now that we're a 501c3 because we really have to operate very according to the bylaws. We can't be sloppy about it because we'll get in trouble with the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, which would be bad. We've had some challenges around Google Summer of Code. We weren't accepted this last summer, and we're going to have to figure out what in the future we want to do about GSOC. And I really appreciate the feedback of anybody in the room who's got thoughts about what we can do to either participate better in GSOC, whether it's worth, given that we have an EVOC program, to keep going with GSOC. Let us and the board know what you think there. I think it's been a valuable program. I think it's too bad we weren't there this year. And then there's a couple broader challenges, and then I'll shut up, honest. The first is acquiring developers. I mean, for me personally, one of the motivation for a lot of what we've done in the last year is I couldn't be more grateful to the people in this room and the people who couldn't be here who do the work of maintaining and enhancing the X window system. You're stellar. You're all crazily stellar. I wish there were more of you. We have a big code base and a lot of stuff, as you know, for the size of stuff we do. And one of the things the board can do is try to find ways to encourage more people to join. And we've done a lot of the things we've done in the last years, the EVOC, the book sprints, this and that, are about that. If you have other ideas about how we can attract new developers to X, the board would be really excited to hear them, honest. And finally, there's this whole sort of future of X Wayland thing that, you know, at some point is going to be part of what the board, you know, the board does not set technical direction, it doesn't set policy, but it's pretty clear to the board, and I think we have consensus on this, although I'd love to hear you say otherwise, that really Wayland is X, or, you know, is part of X. It's something we've committed to supporting, you know, in the same way that we support traditional X. How does that articulate? How does that work as we move forward into potentially a Wayland world? You know, is it the future of X? And if it is, how do we transition to working on and supporting that? You know, as opposed to just the X of 25 years ago, last Saturday. So I think that's where we stand. I mean, yeah, probably saving the concerns for last ends on a depressing note. I couldn't be more excited about what we've done, about how we've done it. I couldn't be happier for all of us to have served you as best we can in pushing all this forward. And so I think that's where we are.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, no problem. Questions, comments? Okay, cool. Yes, my speech had its intended effect. So Stuart, do you have a treasure report at this point? Is that a good next thing?
Sure.
Okay.
I only have one piece of data above what's been going through email, which is hello. Start singing. I have one piece of data to add to the discussions, which is we have approximately $85,000 in our account. I'll be writing checks for about $6,000 to end up the EVOC payments, and probably the travel expenses that have been rolling in on the order of $8,000 to $10,000. So that'll bring us down to the 70s or perhaps below at that rate. In 3 years, we'll be out of money, and we should probably start working on it because we don't have this embarrassing large amount of money that we were eager to bring it down to some more manageable level. That wasn't my approach, but we used to get funding from the major corporations, the major U.S. computer manufacturers. I worked at Sun Microsystems, and we've been purchased by Oracle. My impression of the climate is that I won't be able to go to the well and pull down $15,000 on a yearly or twice, every 2-year kind of basis. I think we're going to have to look for smaller contributors. I can't speak for our other cooperative corporations, but at least on our side, we used to be, Sun used to be a major contributor to our war chest. Well, the Unix workstation vendors chip in $50,000 a year. Oh, that was way before, yes. Zero Unix workstation. And that's how this, when Xorg was... Workstation vendor, whichever, right?
So the little history is that when this Xorg Foundation was formed, we took all of that good fat consortium money and brought it over. So that's how we started with over 200,000. And we've just brought in dribs and drabs since then. In my role as treasurer, I relish being the bad guy, which means you have to give me a packet of receipts, and I want a complete set of receipts so I can write you one check if possible. If I could do it here in Germany and hand it over to you, that's your best shot at getting reimbursed. I have occasions where people have promised to get me their receipts and their report and have not. So there are, I don't know if anyone here is in that situation, but there have been people who have not gotten reimbursement at all because of just dragging it out. And I believe I've been responsive to everyone. It's not my intention to not pay out. I've had challenges and growth experiences getting money to people this year, and the best approach to getting money out of the U.S. is by wire transfer, and we are developing a nice form of the very specific banking and personal ID data that you have to provide in order for the wire transfer to become performed. My apologies to the several people who helped us learn how painstaking that process is.
Especially to some countries in the world where the U.S. has bad banking interactions with.
Well, India?
Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil was tough. India was somewhat tough too. What else should I add to that?
So do we have a historical data in terms of our expenditures over the last 4 or 5 years to get some idea of what our run rate is, so what kind of funding we're going to need to come up with to keep the organization going?
Well, I have downloaded 2012 to date and 2011 to date, and I've been collecting all the statements.
I think when we got our 501c3, we had to publish.
Sorry?
Sorry, I was saying when we did the IRS forms for the 501c3, we had to give them, I think, 3 back years. So it's, I think, 2007 through 2010, our expenditures are listed in that form.
Yeah, that's sitting on a machine that's shut down for remodeling in the office. But
well,
I have that.
It's posted on the website because we had to make all that data public as part of our IRS certification.
We put our the statements?
Yeah, not the bank statements, but the IRS form.
Oh yeah, we did a spreadsheet of all those expenses. So there's a digested form of that stuff.
So
okay.
Yeah. So the very, very rough bottom line there is that our run rate is somewhere between probably 20 and 30,000 a year. I mean, so that gives you an idea of what our target's going to be as we start to find funds. I think it's safe to say that we'll be looking to the people who the corporations that have supported X in the past and that have benefit from X development will, historically we've had a mix of these larger players, Sun and the like, and smaller players. Some very small companies in the past have given very generously of their money and energy to help support the work of X. So, I mean, please, if you have suggestions, guidance, leads, contact any of us at the board. Our email address is not very hard. It's board@foundation.x.org. And so we would love to hear from you on that. Is there anything more we should say about money? No. Okay. So Matt, did you want to?
Just a quick word about
Yeah, please. That would be great.
Okay. Can you hear me okay? Okay. So this last year, I'm kind of the EVOC coordinator for Xorg. And this last year we had 5 EVOC presentations and 4 of them were successful. And I believe all 4 of those guys are here. Saprit, Pal Singh, Francisco Juarez, Blatz, what is it? Blatch? Tomachik, sorry for butchering it, and Jess Vanderwall. Actually, you guys want to stand up just so everyone can see. These are 4 successful EVOC guys from this last year. I count 3. Who's our 4? What? Oh, he's not here yet. Okay. So yeah, these are the guys who worked this last year on that. Also, kind of related. How many of you guys? This is your first XDC that you've been to? How many people here are fresh? Okay. Look around. 3 years ago was my first one, so I remember coming to this and being really intimidated. Don't be intimidated. Talk to people. Be social, be friendly. It's actually a really good group of people to hang out with and to meet. So don't be shy. And everyone who hasn't been here before, remember the hands that went up and kind of introduce yourself and be friendly and all that. So yeah, that's me. So.
Thanks, Matt. So yeah, I couldn't be more excited about EVOC. A quick word on the book sprints, because that's the other new activity that we started this year. Both in March and over the last couple of days here in Nuremberg, we've had events where we got together a group of interested people to try to generate documentation, developer documentation for the X Window system. The March sprint concentrated on producing a new developer's guide that was, to some extent, client-side focused and tried to give the basics of X in a way that sort of books 20 years ago used to, but nobody's really done so much of in the modern world. The sprint this time was focused on working on a book started by Stefan Mascherson that's the 3D and drivers development guide. It's very much focused on the internals of the X server. As a result of that work, we now have, as of yesterday, the first EPUB draft of an X new developer's guide. The book is very, very rough and still needs a lot of work in editing, but it's substantially complete. It weighs in right now at 119 pages, something like that, of basic introductory material. Much of that written by Alan Cooper-Smith here, and the rest by Matt and some of the other people in this room. Thank you so much to everybody who's contributed. Yeah. The reason I initially encouraged this is what I said earlier. I really think it's important that we attract outside people, and I think that one of the barriers to attracting new people is figuring out what's going on in this very, very complicated system with an ancient history. And my hope is that this is one of the ways we can get people over that barrier. I would really encourage you and people you know who can write okay. You don't have to be great. That's part of the fun of me as the editor, is to get to fix your writing. But more importantly, who know stuff about X that needs to be written down. We may do more of these events in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if we do. We need more people to do a better job faster. So I'd encourage you to consider helping out next time an opportunity comes up.
Some information about the way the book currently is accessible?
Yeah, it's not up today. It just got pasted together yesterday. I will definitely link it off the x.org wiki in EPUB, MOBI, and PDF in the next day or two, as soon as I figure out. I still have to check it a little bit against some devices and figure out that it's actually okay. It's really very newly put together. But yes, I'll definitely put it there and post a note to Devel and let everybody know that it's where it is and what's up with it. But it's exciting to have it on somebody's reader and actually be able to page through it. So yeah. I think that's what I had for this morning. Anybody else have anything we missed? All right. Thank you all very much. It's been an honor to serve you, and we look forward to doing it another year.